Well, welcome race fans to round 2 of the Japanese Super GT Series from Okayama Circuit, close to the industrial city of Osaka. This is the 9th year that Japan's top championship has visited the 3.7-kilometer mountain track, formerly known as TI Aida. It's tight and twisty, but all 3 manufacturers have won here over the past 4 years. Toyota, however, comes here as favourite, both as 2005 champion and as winner of the opening 2006 race at Suzuka with its new Lexus SC430. It was here too last year with Dominic Schwager and Manu Orido that Toyota won. But it's Honda which has surprisingly dominated qualifying. The Takata Dome NSX of Ryo Mishigami, his first pole since Aida 2001, on pole from the Raybrigg NSX of Sébastien Philippe of France. GT500. Well, GT300, Nissan's Kota Sasaki is on the pole from the sister 350Z of Masami Kageyama. Built in 1990 by millionaire Hajime Tanaka, Aida hosted 2 Formula 1 Pacific Grands Prix in 1994 and 1995, both won by Michael Schumacher for Benetton, beating Ferrari's Gerhard Berger the first time and Williams' Damon Hill the second. Well, the Japanese GT Series first came here in 1998 and it's been here ever since on the 11-turn circuit, with its corners named after racing's greats of the 1960s, Moss, Atwood, Williams, Piper, Hobbs and Redman. Ahead of us today, 82 laps. I'm Mark Cole. We're looking at round 2 of the Super GT Series. This is the Okayama 500 kilometers. Beautiful weather here, 18 degrees ambient. The track is 25 degrees. And as you can see, the track surrounded by wooded mountainous hills, and the only elevation change 40 meters the whole circuit, and that highest part is at turn 9, the lowest down at turn 4. Well, as always, they're going to be starting in 2 blocks. The GT500's getting away first, followed by the GT300s a lap later. It's a tight track, as we said, and those 11 corners take a big toll on transmissions and brakes. So power's everything. Some cars, of course, carrying a lot more weight than others. For instance, the car that won last time out, the open interface Tom's Lexus of Andre Lotterer, Juichi Wakisaka, that is back on row 5, starting 10th, with no less than 60 kilograms of excess weight. Coming up to the start then, this is the final corner. You can see they come around here, coming back down through the hill that runs down to the back of the circuit, and here they are through turn 11 and on pole position then, starting Ryo Mishigami from Sébastien Philippe. They're coming under starters orders. The lights are green, and a great start for Mishigami, Philippe and Yokozimo. Off they go, but there's problems behind. That's Peter Dumbreck just in the back there. He taps into the back of the Super Andre Kuto, and Dumbreck and Motoyama in the Zanabi car involved too. So is Eric Comas, the Frenchman in the Wood-only Nissan Z. So a lot of damage there, at least 4, maybe 5 cars involved. I hope we have another look at that, but it did look like Peter Dumbreck at the back of that pack got involved and pushed Andre Kuto into that spin in the Supra, the 66 Supra, going right across the pack. All this, of course, is played right into the hands of Ryo Mishigami, leading from Sébastien Philippe. Some of the wreckage out on the road. And there's a 24 car. That is Eric Comas, his Woodoni Kondo Nissan 350Z at the moment, stuck on the side of the circuit, just waiting for a push to get back into the race. Yellow hat YMS Tomica Z of Naoki Yokomizo. Jean-Paul Lima de Oliveira, the Brazilian driver, that's in 3rd place, so they made the most of that to get that yellow car into 3rd place there behind the 2 Hondas. This is looking good for Honda, it has to be said. They have not had a win since Winring Mategi last year. Now here they are, 1, 2, and also in 3rd place, because that's the Ralph Furman car right behind them there. Ralph Furman starting the Arta NSX, the bright orange car, and behind them the NSX Epson car of Hideki Muto, the one he's showing of Loic Duval of France. And in the next place up, Mikhail Krum in the Motel Ortec Z. Well, there is the number 1 car of our champions from last year, Toru Takagi. As we look at the race leaders, Kane just pulling out pulling out a big lead now. There's two Hondas breaking away from the yellow Nissan. Honda in 4th place as well, and in 5th place. This is beginning to look like a Honda walkover, isn't it? And there in 6th place, the Tsurumo car, Bazent Tsurumo, Lexus SC 430 Sports Coupe 430 of Toru Takagi. Carrying no weight at all, that guy, but the lead car on 20 kilos after finishing 8th at the last round at Suzuka. Ishigami making the most of that pole position. His first pole, incidentally, since TI Aida in 2001 at this same circuit. So Ishigami feeling very much at home here. Further back here is the battle for GT 300 honours, and very damaged Satoshi Motoyama carving his way through the field. My guess is these cars are going to get black flagged. There's quite a lot of damage on his car at the back. As you can see, this is the 2004 championship winning team. He and Richard Lyons, they tried to do it again last year, just missed out, finished 2nd. There is the Zanabi Nismo. So Satoshi Motoyama running this year with Sugio Matsuda, one of 2 Matsudas in the race this weekend. So down the hill to the lowest point of the circuit, down to turn 4. And they start the long climb back up to 5, and indeed there we are. We got a yellow, orange and black flag out for the 23 car. That is the Zanabi Nismo Z of Motoyama. So he's being told he's got to come into the pits and get that damage looked at. There's a fair amount of damage in the back end, as you can see, the hit from behind by, we think, Andre Couto, who in turn had been punted by Peter Dumbrek. So if the stewards decide that is the case, the race organisers will be handing out stop-go penalties. We'll have to see how that pans out. Well, into lap 3 now of 82, 500 kilometres of racing around this circuit. 56,000 strong crowd here for Super GT. Japan's premier race series, always has been. Even Formula Nippon takes 2nd to this now. This is a manufacturer-driven series with Toyota, Lexus, with Nissan and with Honda battling it out. Well, you can see the amount of damage on the front end there of Kuto's car, Thumbreck's car rather, the number 10 Bandai car, and you can see that damage. Obviously he did run into the back of Kuto, whether Kuto braked late or what we don't know, but we saw a lot of looking up by Ralph Furman. I guess Kuto jumped on the brakes and Dumbrek, Scotsman, had nowhere to go. Let's have a look at the start again. Here we are. Now watch Ralph Furman on the left of your screen there. He locks up pretty heavily as he gets alongside the yellow hat car. There we go. He locks up. And I think Kuto jumps on the brakes and gets punted from behind by Peter Dumbrek. He runs into the back of Satoshi Motoyama. And all 3 cars are involved. Eric Comas involved as well. He got hit. And there was another spinner there in the background. Couldn't quite see who it was. But now those 2 Hondas pulling further and further away. It's the Takata Dome car, that's the car run by Dome Motor Company, and the Raybrigg NSX, the number 100 car. Honda looking to repeat last year's victories. Didn't quite win the championship, but they had a really good go at it. The Raybrigg team led by Sakitashi. Well, we got more damage flags out. That's for the 66 car. That's the AAA Saad Supra of Andre Couto, running one of last year's cars. And also I think we saw that one again for the Zanabi Nismo car. Now we got orange disc, Andre Couto at the wheel. Here he is, and Peter Dumbrek getting the same as well. So all those cars being told they've got to come in and get that damage looked at. This can cause problems. There's a lot of carbon fibre shards get scattered all over the circuit in that sort of incident. In comes Satoshi Motoyama. Team have a quick look at the car, change wheels. That's the first thing you do. They're going to refuel them as well, and then they'll just check the damage on that 23 car. The car that ran as number 1 last year and on of their 2004 championship. They've gone back to number 23 because that in Japanese is Nissan. 2-3 Nissan. Makes sense, doesn't it? We always saw that in the Le Mans 24 hours, and here we are now at the circuit Okayama. to remember back to the 94-95 days of Formula One when the Formula One circus is pounding around here. Suzuka was the #1 Formula One circuit in Japan, but this was the second circuit. That's why they ran the Pacific Grand Prix here. So a big battle going on throughout the field. This is the GT300. We didn't see their start, but at the moment, I can tell you the number 46 car, the Kicho Direcza Nissan Z, is leading Kota Sasaki at the wheel, but there's a huge battle going on between these cars, the Endless Advan Z and the Advan 320R VMAC of Nobuteru Taniguchi, the car we just saw making a pass there, that little white VMAC. Well, there is Kuto in the pits. He's getting the car looked at. Looks like all three of those cars that were damaged in the incident are going to be able to get back into the race. Plenty of tank tape. This is probably the most useful thing you can have in racing. Cars, though, losing a lot of their aerodynamic effect, and you can see how hard Kuto was hit from behind by Dumbrek, and then he in turn front end hitting the 23 car of Motoyama. Let's just check the order then. It's still in GT300, that Z from the Boxster. That little Boxster's gone through now. That car starting in 4th place. That's Hidechi Matsuda. Total Benefit Green Tech Boxster. Great drive by them. What we haven't seen anything of course, is the Lamborghini Murcielago that won the opening round in Suzuka. That was a great victory for Lamborghini, first time out, and they would like to repeat that this weekend, but unfortunately they're loaded up also with a lot of weight. I think 40 kilos is what they're carrying this weekend. That car of Lamborghini that was taken to the win there by Marco. I think we take a short break. Welcome back to Motors, our coverage of round 2 of the Super GT series from Okayama. I'm Mark Cole, and at the moment we are looking at the second place battle, third place battle in GT300. The Porsche Boxster of Hideshi Matsuda going into the lead ahead of the Kichuan Z car that was on pole position. That's the Nissan of Kota Sasaki, the 2005 champion with Toyota. He's made the switch over to Nissan. What we're not seeing at the moment is the Murcielago. It's the Lamborghini that won the opening round at Suzuka. But big fights going on all through that field. And there's that little blue and white Boxster pulling further and further away. Big battle then. Here it is behind, and there's that VMAC moving up into 3rd place now, the Direct 6 Advan 320R of Nobuteru Taniguchi. The Boxster starting to move away well, and this car, don't believe, has actually led a GT300 race before. Fight going on here still. Nissan from VMAC second, and 3rd places. There they are already, as you can see, being caught up by our race leaders. Through goes the Takata Dome NSX of Ryo Mishigami, so lapping already. And this is just on lap 10 of the race. Around this 3.7 Okayama International Circuit. So Nissan 3.5 litre normally aspirated V6 twin turbos, and 3.5 litre naturally aspirated V6s for the Hondas. Honda made the big change last year, remember, from twin turbo 3 litre engines to the V6 not naturally aspirated cars. It really paid dividends last year. They started getting poles and wins from that point onwards. So the Raybrigg NSX carving through the GT300 battle. There's the Epson car from Marc Duval. Car fighting a big battle now with the Motel Ortec Z of Mikael Krum. Great trackside shots here from Fuji TV. raging. Epson NSX, Michael Krum in the Motul Z, and Benoit Trullier in the number 12 Calsonic car, right behind them, that blue Calsonic car. Well, he's just been passed. Down the main straight they come to complete lap 12. Climbing all over each other. There's one of the Lamborghinis just being passed there, the Murcielagos. That in fact is the car that won in Suzuka at the beginning of the season. So there's our overall picture. Honda, Nissan, Honda, Lexus and Nissan. And this is the 32 car we're watching at the moment, fighting with the Motul Z car. The open interface Lexus, the car, the 36 car which won the opening GT500 race at Suzuka, and then the Calsonic Z, Benoit Trullier having just been pushed back by Andre Lotterer. Well, drive-through penalties are coming thick and fast there now. 36, 35, that's for Dumbreck. That is for the 36 car. That is the Andre Lotterer open interface car. Also for the number 8 car, Ralph Furman, this car we're looking at the moment. So those penalties are flying thick and fast at the moment. All going to be drive-through penalties. I'm hearing they're going to be 10-second stop-go penalties, and presumably those for everyone involved in that first corner accident. Ralph Furman presumably for making a move across the white line to try and pass the yellow hat Nissan of Naoki Yokomiza down the inside. The others for being involved in the collision that followed. And in comes the 36 car, Andre Lotterer. He's going to take his penalty. Is it a drive-through or is it a stop-go? No, it's a drive-through for him. So some of them are deemed less important than others. We are definitely hearing, though, that Peter Dumbreck will have to take a 10-second stop-go. So this is the new Lexus, the Sports Coupe 430, car that won first time out at Suzuka and is heralding the new generation of Toyotas. Toyota has never sold the Lexus brand in Japan before. That's always been an American and European thing. This year they're making a push to try and push the Lexus brand, the upmarket Toyota if you like, and this is how it's being marketed in the Super GT Championship. Furman then, still waiting for him to come up, take his penalty. Here he comes then into the pits. Is this going to be a drive-through or is it going to be a stop-go? We'll see in a moment. Comes down to the regulation, 80 kilometers an hour. It's got an empty pit lane. Ralph Furman, of course, coming back to the Japanese series last year after racing in Formula 1 with Jordan. Says he's much happier since he made the move back. So it is a drive-through then for Ralph. The man from Norfolk. His father Ralph, of course, Van Diemen Cars. And even before that was at the Jim Russell Race School as their chief mechanic at Snetterton. So a huge family racing history. Here's our race leader, Ryo Mishigami in the Takata Dome NSX. He'll be handing over to Takashi Koguru later on. Getting that car nice and wide as he goes down the hills. Starts to climb up to turn 9, the highest point of the circuit. Very much a driver's circuit. As in comes the 35 car. Peter Dumbreck. Well, he's just got to drive through as well. So the information we got about the 10-second stop-go, not quite correct. It's a drive-through in every case. Peter Dumbreck, man who had 2 years in DTM with Opel. He left the DTM at the end of 2004 and rejoined the Japanese series, which he'd done a lot of his early racing in Japanese Formula 3, in which he was champion, returning to the land of the rising sun. Here is the second place car, Sebastian Philippe of France at the wheel. And he's 3.7 seconds behind now as they go into lap 17. Sixth place car still, he's fifth now, the Epson car has moved up a place, Hideki Muto. He'll be handing over to Luc Duval later. And the Motul Z pushed back one place. That's the car of Mikael Krum. Mikael Krum had a good season last year, really came to the fore. Two very good second places. Had a win the previous year, but that wasn't to be repeated. But Mikael finishing fifth overall in the championship for Nissan last year. So still this battle going on. Epson fifth, Motul sixth, and right behind them the Calsonic Nissan of Benoit Trullier. Japanese, German and Frenchman in line. Oh, and definitely Mikael Krum on the move, having a go at that Honda now. Maybe his tyres are looking... Oh, and ground he goes! Off he goes! Oh, it's quite a big impact. The Epson car goes off. Was Hideki Muto tapped, or did he go off by himself? Too close to call that one. But he's in the wall. That's the Epson car run by... Satoru Nakajima, Formula 1 driver. Well, here we are, let's have a look again. Here's the replay. Well, I think he got touched. I think he just got pushed there. Mikael Krum pushed the car to fast corner that, bang hard into the wall. And he's stalled for the moment, but luckily there's a big tyre wall on the outside, but that has not helped Hideki Muto's moves up the field there. Well, there is Nakajima looking at his car. Nakajima, the man who ran with Tyrrell all those years ago, ran with Lamborghini. Great Formula 1 career. One of the first of the Japanese to make the move into Formula 1. Fifth place at the moment, Mikael Krum. He'll be handing that car over at half distance to Sakon Yamamoto. Well, they're still working on that Epson car, but working to get it back into the race. That happened in the final turn. Turn 11. Oh, we've got another problem. Who's that? That's Motoyama. That is Satoshi Motoyama in the Zenavi Nismo X. Well, he had a lot of damage from that first corner. It looks like he's pulled off maybe a broken transmission. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us here on Motors. This is Motors TV. This is Super GT from Okayama in Japan. Second round of the 2005-6 series. We're just looking at the moment of Ralph Furman, who's just had a drive-through penalty in the pits, carving his way back up through the field, just barging through. No prisoners taken by our Ralph. He'll be handling that car, which at the moment is running in 8th place, delayed by his drive-through penalty. He'll be handing that over to Daisuke Ito a little later on. Ralph and Daisuke winning last year at Autopolis. Great win for them after taking pole in Malaysia. There we go again. Just gives him a love tap as he goes through. Too many of those there, and he'll be doing more drive-through penalties, and presumably for a little longer next time. So where did Ralph finish? Let's have a look. Last time he was running in 3rd place, finished in 3rd off pole at the Suzuka 300 kilometers just last month. This is the Okayama 300 kilometers, not 500. And there we are, the Epson cars made it back to the pits, but it's been pushed away, too much damage, heavy impact with the tyre wall on that side. Nissan's then battling for what will be 5th place now. Mikael Krum in the Motul Z. They call them Fair Lady Zs here, we call them 350 Zs. And in 6th place, Benoit Trullier in the Calsonic car. Incidentally, the first 350Z to be raced is in Britain is scheduled to appear in the British GT Championship. We're waiting to hear more news on that, but it's been put together by one of the British teams. Great looking car, very, very purposeful, and Nissan replacing their much loved Skyline with this car. Right, here we are, back to GT300. Again, two Nissans fighting it out for second and third places. Kitchus de Redza Z. No, the GT300 Nissans are normally aspirated, so they still have the 3-litre engine, but it's normally aspirated as against the twin turbo, their big brothers in GT500. Right behind him, the Endless car, Endless Advan Z, Masami Kageyama. So this battle going on, that Boxster, the Total Benefit Green Tech Porsche Boxster of Hideshi Matsuda, Ichijo Suga. That is out front now, and it's just pulled away, but that could all change come the pit stop times. Past the pits, flashing the lights just to signal to his team that he's acknowledging their orders. And there's the VMAC car right behind them, the Directive Advan 320R of Nobuteru Kaniguchi. So nothing in it. Second, third place battle, and the Endless car, as you can see from the graph there, has gained 1.4 seconds over the last 4 laps. And one thing catching there, as we always say, it's another thing to pass. Comes a somewhat damaged Dumbrek car, making his way back from his drive-through penalty. Of course, they were all held up in that first lap shenanigans as well. Peter changing his Yellow Hat sponsorship of last year. The Bandai sponsorship of this year, the team Duretza. Our director preferring to follow the GT300 battle at the moment. Big lock up there. He's gone wide. Oh, Mats, he's just lost the place. Oh, that was a big mistake there by Kota Sasaki. He lost the place to the Endless car of Masami Kageyama, but Kageyama makes the most of it. So what happened there? Sasaki just locked up down into turn 9 and went wide. And that just opened the door for Masami Kageyama to move through into second place. Come back again, but he's going to have to work very hard to stop that happening again. Well, here we are, back to the other Nissans, Motul Z, the Calsonic Z in GT500. German Michael Krum and France's Benoit Trullier still locked in battle. And again, that's been so close, lap after lap. These cars pushing out 500 horsepower. There's the GT300 cars. They, as the name suggests, they are on 300 horsepower. So just to remind you of the tech regs, as we look at the order, it's still Honda 1, 2, Nissan 3, Toyota Lexus 4, and Nissan 5 and 6. Of course, lost the Epson Honda NSX and the car of Ralph Furman running in 8th at the moment, having had to take that drive-through penalty. So looking at the tech regs for the moment, 500 horsepower engines for 500 have to be from the same manufacturer. Location is free as long as it stays in the engine department, so you can turn it sideways, long ways, upside down, whatever you want to do. Manual 6-speed transmission, steel brakes, power steering. You can change anything you like, the transmission, suspension, but brakes have to stay as single caliper. No ABS, no traction control, no auto transmissions, no telemetry, and no carbon brakes. So steel brakes. They're flat bottomed. Front and rear space frames are stuck onto the original cockpit, and they can use composite materials for bumpers, bonnet, doors and boots, front and rear wings, and also for any structural parts if that's on the standard car. 100 litres of fuel, and they weigh into a minimum of 1,100 kilograms. What what happens is race after race they get success penalties added, just like the British touring cars or FIGT. But you get 50 kilos put on for a win, plus another 10 if you're on pole or in the top 3 in qualifying, and another 10 if you're one of the 3 cars that sets the fastest lap of the race. GT300, very similar regs, although the 300 horsepower, 1,000 kilos weight. And these cars in GT300 tend to be more production-based than the GT500, but LMGT, FIGT, Grand Am GT and DTM cars are also permitted, but we don't have any of those yet, apart from the Lamborghinis, which are basically FI spec, although the JLOC, Japan Lamborghini Owners Club, has been gradually increasing their spec over the years. What has started there, we haven't seen it yet, and I hope we're not going to see it, was the Ford GT qualifying. 2 of them were crashed out in qualifying, and the last of the qualifiers was the new Ford GT, the first one in captivity to be raced, and unfortunately hasn't been allowed to start, so we're not actually going to see it. We're hoping we would have had a shot of it at some stage. That's the DHE Advan Ford GT of Hidetoshi Mitsusada and Daisuke Ikeda, but that car not allowed to start. They're the 39th of the 43 cars that came here for qualifying. Hopefully next time we'll see that car. There, that black car, that's another unusual car. That is the Mooncraft Apple Shiden, the Japanese-built supercar named after World War II fighter, famous fighter, the Shiden. That was aircraft built and run by Mitsubishi. Became the replacement for the Zero eventually. So that was pretty impressive. Shiden means violet lightning. Pit stop time then. In comes that Shiden we've just been talking about. First to make a routine pit stop. That Shiden running rather down the back of the field at the moment. Here we are though, here's the front of the field, GT300, and some superb flight still going on for 2nd and 3rd, 4th places right for the field. And the Ferrari's being gobbled up there. So the Kinshasa Z, which we saw being passed by the Endless car when it locked up, now fallen back into the clutches of the VMAC 320R. This is the little VMAC of run by Shogo Mitsuyama and Nobutaro Kaniguchi. The VMAC powered by a 3.4 litre Honda V6. The highest point of the circuit, gets through 10 and 11 back onto the start straight. So this is the fight still for 2nd place in GT500, carving again through the back markers. Those Hondas are still 1 and 2. Now we're going to take a short break again here on Motors. So stay with me, Mark Cole, stay with our coverage of Super GT from Okayama in Japan. Welcome back to Motoyama. This is our race leader at the moment, the Takata Dome Honda NSX. Ryo Mishigami at the wheel, starting from his first pole position since 2001 at this same circuit when it used to be called TI Aida. It's now called Okayama in honour of the prefecture in which it's set. In comes the yellow hat car that's been running in 3rd. This is Naoki Yokozimo. And he's going to be handing over, I think, to the Brazilian. Juan Paulo Lima de Oliveira. This is lap 34 of 82 scheduled laps. Okayama out of the car. Lima de Oliveira putting in fuel, 4 tyres, front and rear, and out it goes again. Other cars stopping as well now, but that's our 3rd place car that just pitted. We'll have to see where he rejoins. Of course, you've got this sort of limbo situation at the moment where everybody's stopping. We won't really know the race order until we come out. There's our leader coming by. Takata Dome NSX. Ryo Mishigami still to stop. So too is the Raybrig NSX of Sebastian Philippe. So there is Takata's second driver, Takashi Kogure, waiting to take over that car. Kogure ran this car last year with Mishigami. They have won 2nd place. That was at Twin Ring Motegi, but Kogure has never had a win in Super GT, although he did have a win in 2004 in the Formula Nippon Championship. So we know they're coming in fairly soon. Kogure is all kitted up, ready to go. 36 laps completed. This is lap 37. Look at that, having to really carve through the traffic in the dome. It all gets held up by the Moonkraft Scheiden quite badly there. Instantly, those of you who are aircraft freaks might have spotted I'd said it's a Mitsubishi Scheiden. It's not, in fact. It was Scheiden was built by Kawanishi N1K, and Scheiden Kai, meaning Violet Lightning, is that fighter. So please, no emails correcting me. Moment though, this is where our interest is centered, on the Takata Dome NSX. This is the Dome Motor Company's official factory entry. Onto the pits then. Comes the car that Manubo Arido has just handed over, the 25 Eclipse Advanced Supra. This is the car that started in 12th place. Takeshi Tsuchiya has just taken it over. Car finished 8th in Suzuka, didn't really figure at all. Yeah, we have seen some good results from that car. It won last year, the opening round here at Okayama. It seems to have gone downhill since. Well, in comes Andre Lotterer. This is the car that won at Suzuka. First time out this year, the Lexus SC430. 60 kilos of weight on Andre Lotterer, the German handing it over to Juichi Wakisaka. But still no stop yet for our lead car, the number 18 Takata Honda NSX, nor for the 100 Raybrig NSX, which is now running some 6-7 seconds behind it on the track. As we saw in the pits, Takashi Kogure ready to take that car over. Here comes the Mikael Krum car. He's handing over the Motul Autech Nissan Z to Sakon Yamamoto. And in comes Ralph Furman as well. He's going to hand over the number 8 Arta NSX to Daisuke Ito. These two have been joined at the hip since last year. They finished second together in Sepang from pole position, and then one in Autopolis in amongst a whole batch of Honda wins last year. Sebastian Philippe and Jeremy Dufour being the other winners in that number 100 car. Well, out goes the Motal car. Sakon Yamamoto on Bridgestones, as are most of the runners here. Epson NSX on Dunlop. That car's out of the race. Peter Dumbreck's car on Dunlop, and the Eclipse Advan Supra of Aribo and Chuku we just saw stopping on Yokohama. Furman's car is fettled. Furman's out of the car as we saw. His place has been taken by Daisuke Ito. He rejoins 37.8 for the pit stop. There's the mountains around this track. It's a nice track. People have been here to Formula 1, always talked of great affection, probably because they no longer go there, but not too hard to get to. Oh, big moment there for the Motal car. That's Sakon Yamamoto. That's what happens when you go out on cold tyres. You've just got to get heat into those tyres before you start attacking, and that's what could have hurt him quite badly then. Lucky to get that car back on the track. Down the hill comes our race leader, Ishigami. Now, will he and the number 100 Raybrig car of Sebastian Philippe be stopping at the same time? This must surely be the time to come in now. We're on the 38th lap of 82. Races are designed so there's just one pit stop, one driver change. You refuel, you can, or don't have to put tyres on, but normally you change all 4 tyres. Depends how heavy the cars have been treated. So we've had Suzuka 300 kilometers. This is the Okayama 300 kilometers. Next race, the big one, May the 4th, 500 kilometers at Fuji. That's a Thursday race, which is a Japanese holiday. In comes our race leader, and in comes Ryo Mishigami. He's going to hand the car over to Takashi Kogure. Brings it down to the regulation 80 kilometers an hour. So good job by Mishigami, leading the race off his first pole since 2001 at this same circuit. Team's ready. Maximum 5 mechanics at pit stops. You can only have the same 2 for tyres, and they're not touching the fronts at the moment. They're waiting to do the backs. Fuel's going in. And as soon as that fuel's gone in, they're able to work on the tyres. Oh, there's the 100 car, the Raybrig car, that's in as well. They're refueling, they're waiting to get to work on those rear wheels. Are they going to do the fronts? Haven't got fronts out there on either of those Hondas, so they're obviously happy with the front end of the car. Out comes the Takata car, and the word is no rear tyres only on that car. Where's he going to come out? We'll have to see as they get back into traffic. And the Raybrig car comes out again, rear tyres only, so they're confident enough in the performance of their front tyres not to change them. Bridgestones on both of those cars. So Mishigami handing over to Kogure, Philippe handing over to Shinya Hosokawa. They rejoin in 4th and 5th places. So first now I think will be Benoit Trullier, second should be the number 22 Motal car of Masataga, of Sakon Yamamoto. Sorry, that's last year's driver. Sakon Yamamoto is at the wheel of the car this year. And 3rd place, I would guess at the moment, would be the young Brazilian Juan Paul Lima de Oliveira. Young Brazilian driver. Japanese Formula 3 champion last year, so that his reward is to be bumped up into the GT 500 class. That's a move in the GT 300 class there. Through goes the VMAC. Gone to 2nd place. Yeah, that's Taniguchi, and that's his team. Absolutely delighted with that move. They've moved up into 2nd place. They haven't stopped yet, but they're pushing. VMAC cars, which are built in Essex, designed in Japan and engineered in Japan, but they're built by VMAC Car Company at Pudding Lane, Chigwell, and Tokyo R&D designed those cars. They're very low volume sports car manufacturers for road cars, a little bit like a Lotus Elise coupe. Well, in comes the number 11 car, That's the gym centre. No, it's 110, sorry, that's the Boxster, one that's been doing so well here this afternoon. This car finished third at Suzuka, and it's at the moment has been running in third place again. So we're an idea of a Cayman. This Boxster with a hard top on it, total benefit green tech Boxster. Hideshi Matsuda, having done the bulk of the driving so far. And Yokohama's carrying 10 kilos of weight, and on board gets Ichijo Suga. So Suga will take that car back out. Are they going to improve on their third place in Suzuka? That has been a very, very good project, this car, and the team has worked really, really hard on that. They ran it last year with Suga and Takashi Ohai, Fortuna Architect in Japan. It's a motoring journalist who competed in a Ferrari 360 2 years ago. Suga's works for one of the Japanese magazines, the Japan Autosport. And they developed the 968 that ran in 2004, and then the last 2 seasons they've had this Boxster, which is the 6-cylinder 3.6 litre. Well, off goes the yellow hat car. That's a bad mistake there by Oliveira. I hope that's not going to hurt him. Oliveira gets back onto the track. Well, that was a bit of a mistake by Oliveira there. I'm sure we'll see a replay, see what he does. Well, was he tapped by that Raybrigg car? I suspect he might have been. Let's just have another look as they try and catch up in the replay. I don't think I found quite the right point. Here we are, I'm going to look ahead. Here we are, he's ahead of the Raybrigg car at that point. Yeah, he gets shoved, that's what happens there. Oliveira pushed off. We'll take a break. Stay with Motors. We are back at Okayama. This is Motors TV with our coverage of Japanese Super GT. Here's the man who was our race leader till the pit stops. He at the moment is running in second place. This is a Takata Dome NSX, and at the wheel now Takashi Kogure. I think the reason they're second at the moment is not all the pit stops have been made. Trillier to pit, the Frenchman, he is running in first. Trillier. Trillier at the wheel of the Nissan Calsonic 350Z. And in comes the Durezza car in GT300. That's running at the moment. Started in pole, Ross running in third place. Let's see where that pans out. This is our race leader though. It was our race leader till the pit stops. It'll be our race leader when, I believe, Benoit Trillier stops. So let's keep an eye on that. Trillier still running quite hard with 42 laps, 43 laps into the race now. Just a word about Oliveira. He started racing in 1997, started in karting, then won some Formula Ford races in his native Brazil, and since 1998 won 38 times out of 121 races, which is a pretty outstanding record, winning 32% of his races. He's born in August 1980, so he's still quite a youngster, but that Japanese Formula 3 was really impressive. That's what he won in 2005, having become a runner-up in his first year in 2004, winning 6 races. He was driving for Delara Toyota, Team Toms, and of course that's the team with which he's now racing in GT500. Yes, here is our race leader at the moment, Benoit Trillier, the Calsonic Impulse Z, number 12 Nissan. Car that is run by Kazuyoshi Hoshino, one of the grand old men of Japanese racing. He and Hashemi, the 2 Nissan Group C drivers through all those years of the 80s and the 90s. There is the Calsonic team waiting. Team Impul is the name of his team, and their chief engineer Kimitoshi Sugizakai. So Benoit Trillier has been with this team now since 2003. Goes past the VMAC that's running at the moment in third place in GT300. Trullier really doing well on tyres and fuel. He's gone further than any other GT500 car in this race. When he stops, he will be handing the car over to Kazuki Hoshino. No coincidence there, son of course of Kazuyoshi Hoshino, the team Impul team owner, and Hoshino cut his teeth in GT300, did a good job in 2005. Win. Hoshino Jr. had a win in round 5 last year. That was at Motegi. In he comes then. In comes Benoit Trullier. And Hoshino Jr. will be waiting to hop into the car, take it over. Are they going to keep the lead? This is what we're going to have to see now. So Kazuki Hoshino opens the door. Trullier hops out. Then gets Hoshino. This is lap 49 of 82. This car benefiting from the same Nismo parts as others. Well, it looks like they're going for all 4 tyres, so the Honda's really doing a good job just running on rear tyres at the moment. Excellent work. No need to change fronts, but all 4 on this car. Fuel, tyres, and out goes Kazuki Hoshino. He's going to rejoin. There's his dad. Kazuyoshi on the pit wall. Where's he going to join? Can he get out ahead of the 22 car, the Motul car, and the number 3 car? No, he can't. They've just gone through, so he rejoins in 5th place as Sakon Yamamoto goes through into 3rd, and the yellow hat car of Lima de Oliveira goes through into 4th. Well, that's the pit stops finished. Later than usual. Lap 50 we're coming up to. Well, we're seeing he's 4th at the moment. So in fact, he's just got back. No, he's just lost it. There we are. There it is. There goes the 22 car, putting him down into 5th place. So he had rejoined in 4th, but his tyres hadn't warmed up yet. Yamamoto puts him down into 5th place at that point. The number 3 car of de Oliveira having gone through already. We'll see what the rest of the order pans out at, but this of course puts the number 18 Takata Domen SX of Takashi Kogure back into the lead. Had the virtual lead of course the whole race until the pit stops are finished, and he now has 20 seconds in hand, we're hearing, over the number 1 car of Tachikawa. That's the Zent Tsurumo Lexus. Problem there for the Kichuan Director Z. They've had to, couldn't get that rear wheel off. That's the car that was lying 2nd in GT300. Is that going to cost them a lot of time? Well, a bit of a problem there, and he rejoins. Where's he going to join? That is Shogo Mitsuyama rejoining in that car. We haven't seen quite where he rejoined it. That car was leading when it made its stop. Has he rejoined in 1st place? Can't see at the moment. Here is our 2nd place Zent Tsurumo. Was lying in 3rd, now goes up to 2nd with the pit stop of Trullier. Never really lost the lead apart from the pit stop periods since starting from pole position. A great showing by this little car, 500 horsepower, and Honda have just got the reliability so right this year, haven't they? Well, we're still looking for the 2nd place car. There he is, just coming wide now. That is the Zent Tsurumo Lexus. Toru Takagi started it. Yuji Tachikawa is now on board it. can very clearly see the Lexus influence in the front of the car in these colours. Distinctive grille of the sports coupe. The Raybrigg NSX in a third place, the 100 car. That's the car that started second. So the biggest winner in all the pit stops has been this car we're looking at, the Zensarumo Lexus of Toru Takagi, Yuji Tachikawa. He's the one who has jumped the Raybrigg car, the number 100 car, into second place. But he's still 19 seconds behind the leader, and 19.5 seconds. The Raybrigg car's now behind the leader. The Motul Z, which Mikael Krum handed over in fourth. The Calsonic Z, Benoit Trullier handed over in fifth. And there is that car, the yellow hat car. The Tomica Z Nissan of Lima d'Oliveira, or Juan Paulo de Oliveira, he prefers to be called. Having a great battle there. Fourth, fifth place. There's Motoyama's car pulled off on the edge of the track. You just caught a glimpse of there. Of course, that went out after accident damage. We suspect transmission breakage. But this is the hottest battle in GT 500 at the moment for fifth place. Blue against yellow, both at Nissan 350Zs, both twin turbocharged V6s. Oliveira cutting his teeth in GT 500 this year after winning the Japanese Formula 3 Championship, so he knows the circuits well. 25 years old. Oh, and a big slip there for the Calsonic car. Hoshino really got it out of shape over the curbs, and that's given D'Oliveira a chance. Can he get alongside? He's right inside, all round that long bottom corner. Turn 4. Shame we haven't seen that, but here's the GT 300 class leading car at the moment, the 27 VMAC 320R of Nobuturo Kaneguchi and Shogo Mitsuyama. That's who's taken it over. Going to take it over, rather just about to come in to make their first and only stop. Down the hill. Kaneguchi, I'm sure, will come in at the end of this lap. Team is ready and waiting there in the pit lane. Making room for the battered car of Andre Kuto. And Katsuyuki Hiranaka, badly damaged in that first corner shunt, but still running. The Boxster still in second place. In he goes. In comes the GT 300 leader. He will lose the lead at this point. Taniguchi will hand over to Mitsuyama. He's the last of the top group of GT 300s to pit. Kaneguchi then jumps out. Shogo Mitsuyama gets in. Four tyres, fuel. Remember, no more than 5 people on the car. Well, he can't start it. He's got a problem. Go, 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 says the team manager. He couldn't get that car moving. Eventually fires up. Is he going to rejoin in front of the Boxster? That's what we got to see. That Boxster coming out of the final turn 11 right at this moment. There's the Boxster. Can he do it? Can he do it? Yes, there's the Boxster, and he goes into the lead. That blue and white Porsche there just takes the lead. Oh, it's a great move that. He nearly threw it all away, didn't he, by stalling in the pits, but he's on cold tyres. The Boxster's on hot tyres, and can he get that? Can he keep that lead of the class? He's really trying hard. Down the hill they go. Is he going to be able to keep it? This would be a great moment if they can. Well, he's getting heat into his tyres now. He's still ahead of the Boxster. This is the battle for the lead of GT300. Everybody's now stopped. We're going to take a break. Let's see how this pans out in just a moment. Welcome back to Motors and our coverage of Super GT from Okayama, round 2 of the 2006 series. We're watching the lead battle for GT300. The Derivix VMAX 320R has just made its pit stop, handing over the driver, and the car right behind it, the Boxster Coupe, is the car that's running in second place. He came out, the 320R came out right in front of it and could not get past, so the VMAX had such a good build-up of time over the rest of the field. He just managed to sneak out in front despite being on cold tyres, and he's kept it. And can he keep it to the end? That is the next question. So great battles all through the field. Battle for 4th and 5th place at the moment. The Motul Z car, the yellow hat car, he's dropped the Calsonic car, and De Oliveira is on a mission. The man's on a mission, trying to take that 4th place away from the Motul Z car. That's the car that Mikael Krum started. Sakon Yamamoto is now at the wheel of. So good job by De Oliveira this afternoon. He's really shown in only his second race that he's got the pace, he's got the speed, and he's also got the racecraft, learned cutting his teeth in Japanese Formula 3 on these circuits. He goes wide, try and find a space through. Oh, this is good stuff. Oliveira really putting on a great show this afternoon. Very impressive indeed. Big crowd here today, 56,000 have made the 100-kilometer trek from Osaka. Osaka, the 3rd biggest city in Japan. It's an industrial port on the main island of here. Oh, and one of the Lamborghinis, that's pulled off Wada Q. This is the car that finished in 5th place in Suzuka. The old Lamborghini problems, the V12 problems come back to haunt them. There's the Mooncraft Scheiden just in front of this 4th place battle for GT500. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of the Mooncraft car. Very impressive car. A lot of innovation in this series, which is what, of course, everyone loves to see in sports car racing. There's our overall order then. Honda, Lexus, Honda, Nissan. So Nissan's really queuing up now. Clever move there, putting one of the little VMAX in between himself and Oliver as they cross the finish line. Going to another lap of this race now, going into its closing stages. And great fights all through the field. Oliveira trying everything he can just to get that nose in front. Had that spin earlier, remember? Contact with the Raybrick car, we think. Raybrick car going through, of course, in 3rd place now. So just to recap, our race leader at the moment, the Takata Dome NSX of Takashi Kogure. In 2nd place, the Zensarumo car of Yuji Tachikawa. second lead. Kaguri's got over that, and in third place the Raybrig NSX of Shinja. So still Oliveira unable to find a way through. It's a very well driven Nissan right in front of him. Has another look again. Can't do it. Look at the gap. Less than half a second. Probably even closer in some of the corners here. This, remember, is for fourth place. The back marker. That's just given a little bit of a breather there to Sakon Yamamoto in the red Nissan. There is the Nismo team. Up on the pit wall, watching the progress of their car. This is run by Masahiro Hashimi. It's a car that ran as a GZOC sponsorship last year. That's a sponsor that's disappeared, been replaced by Yellow Hat, bit of swapping over. There's the endless Advan car, running fourth at the moment in GT300 and about to be lapped again by the race leader, his lights flashing on and off. So what a great day for Honda today, especially for the Dome team. That's has really been so impressive, a real tour de force. Dome Racing, people who developed all the Le Mans cars. NSXs in Super GTs, as well as building Formula Nippon cars. Team manager Takuya Nakamura. So there we are. There are the wins by GT500 drivers in recent times. Eric Comas of France, well up the list there. Yuji Tachikawa. Man in the Zenith Tsurumo car in second place, at the top of the list at the moment. And there is Ryo Mishigami, the man who did all the work in the first half of the race, put the car on pole position, kept the car out front until they made their pit stops. Lap 38 of 82, both Hondas pitting together. Mishigami and Philippe handing over to their respective co-drivers. That's how the status quo has been maintained. A fairly empty track at the moment, looking for the GT500 cars. Oh, we've got a penalty, 10-second penalty there. Stop, will it be a stop go? No, 10 seconds they're telling us. And we're hearing it's for passing under yellow flags. We don't know what incident that was, but that's a penalty for the second place car. That's a big blow. Toru Takagi did a lot of work getting that car into second place. Yuji Tachikawa keeping it there. They're going to get called in and held for 10 seconds. And where's that going to drop them to? I think outside the top 6. We'll have to see how that pans out. Well, that's a big blow for Lexus, and that's going to hand this race to Honda with a 1-2 if they're not careful, and then a Nissan 3-4-5, depending on where that Tsurumo SC430 rejoins after it takes a 10-second stop-go penalty. And believe me, that 10 seconds will seem like an eternity after the speeds they've been racing at here around Okayama. Oh, we've got a spinner. That's the car that Andre Kuto wrecked at the beginning of the race. Katsuyoki Hironaka losing control of that AAA Saab Supra. That's one of last year's Toyota Supras. In comes Yamamoto. In comes Tachikawa, Yuji Tachikawa. He's going to have to stop for 10 seconds at the end of the pit lane. Officials will hold the car there, and second place is gone because I can tell you the Raybrig NSX of Shinji Hosokawa has just gone through into second place, and into third place has gone Sakon Yamamoto in the Motel Auto Z. There we are, 10 seconds. There's the clicker. They've stopped. It's started a bit late. That was a bit unfair. The driver can see that. And the moment that gets to 0, he can go. He won't be waiting. He'll light up those rear tyres. Off he goes. Oh, and he just blasts that Lexus SC back out into the race. And he rejoins. Can he make 7th? Just seeing where he's come out again. I think we will find that is 7th place, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 have gone through the Calsonic Impul Z. The last car to go through. He's just got a few laps now to try and claw that back. 7th place indeed, as we said. Tachikawa in the #1 car. Last year's championship winning car. We're going to take another break. Let's see how this pans out in the closing stages of Super GT. Here's our leader here at Okayama. Super GT round 2. Beautiful sunshine, huge crowd here at the circuit near to Osaka. Honda now 1-2 with 10 laps to go. Takata Dome NSX of Takashi Koguro leading. A Raybrig Honda NSX of Shinya Asakawa. Wasn't going to be that way, but for whatever reason, Yuji Tachikawa in the #1 Zensarumo Lexus passed under yellow flags. We didn't see the incident, but officials did. He got a 10-second stop-go penalty. Has just been pulled off the track out of 2nd place and has rejoined in 7th place. There's the Lamborghini. That's the Actio car, Marco Apicella and Yusataka Hinwa. That's the car that won in GT300 at Suzuka, giving Lamborghini its first ever win in Super GT. They've been trying since 1994, so that was a great job by the team. At the moment in 6th place in the category. And if they can stay there, that'll give them enough points, I think, to stay in the lead of GT300, because a win and 2nd place and 6th place would be good enough for 27 points, which will just keep ahead, hopefully, of Mitsuyama and Taniguchi. Here's our race leader overall, Kogure at the wheel, on and off. That's the Porsche, that's the Boxster. Oh dear, that's the car that was running in 2nd place in class. Has that hurt the 110 car? We'll have to see in a minute. I think it has, because that is the Gym Center Ferrari just ahead of it, and that's gone through into 2nd place. So that #11 car has just snatched 2nd place from this car, from the Porsche Boxster. Well, that was a big mistake there. Let's see if we can see what happened. Here we are. Yeah, he just gets locked up, goes off, bouncing around a bit. Now, as he crawls back on, watch that red Ferrari. There he goes, through he goes, into 2nd place. So the Gym Center Ferrari of Tetsu Tanaka and Takayuki Aoki taking 2nd in front of our very eyes. There is the Porsche Boxster clawing back into 3rd place. That was a big mistake by Hideshi Matsuda there at the wheel of that Total Benefit Boxster. They finished 3rd in Suzuka at the moment. It looks like they could be doing the same thing again this weekend. That's the Ferrari F360. Hasn't quite reached here yet, but we've seen racing in Sebring and in the Le Mans series here on Motors. Let's just have a look at the calendar while we're watching all this battling going on. GT500 cars again, carving through the GT300 field. We talked about next race at Fuji in May. That's on the middle of a week. It's a bank holiday in Japan. It's the Fuji 500 kilometers. June they go to Sepang in Malaysia. July to Sugo in Japan, 300 kilometers. And then in August the 20th, the biggest race of the season, the Suzuka 1,000 kilometers. There's the Arta NSX and taking 5th place away from the Calsonic car, which takes it back again. Oh, and it's push, bang and shove. So, that was everything to play for there. Calsonic and Arta battling it out. Kazuki Hoshino in the Calsonic car and Daisuke Ito in the little Arta NSX. And he's lost another place. Oh, that was a big mistake because that Zen Tsurumo car of Tachikawa's now taken place away from the car Ralph Furman started. That was for 6th place. So that put the Arta NSX offline enough for Ito to lose place to Kazuki Hoshino. And also to Yuji Tachikawa. So he went from 5th back into 7th place. There's the overall lead then. Honda, 3 Nissans, and then the first of the Lexuses, or the Lexide to be correct, in 7th place. That is the Zent Tsurumo SC of Tachikawa. 75 laps completed. It's just 7 to go. 6 to go when they complete this one. High up on the mountainside there, here at Okayama. Beautiful part of Japan, very mountainous, wooded and hilly, although Osaka is not really a place you want to go. It's rather like the Birmingham of Japan as far as the industrial side's concerned. Some of you may remember a film of some years ago called Black Rain. That was all set in here about the Japanese mafia, the Yazuka. Well, that was set in the countryside around here, all around Osaka. We're about 70 miles from Osaka here. Quite a tortuous road to get up here, but still 56,000 fans make the trek. So this man on a mission, having taken 5th place now from the Calsonic Impulse Z. So that 10-second stop-go penalty might have cost him 2nd place, but Tachikawa is a man on a charge, and he's come back through into 5th place now, passing the Calsonic Nissan. Is this going to be the best for Toyota stroke Lexus today? 5th place after their win in the opening round. The opening race saw 1st and 5th for the Lexuses. So here is our 5th, 6th and 7th place cars at the moment. Good spread of makes. Toyota from Nissan from Honda. And up ahead it's all Honda and all Nissan. We're down in GT300, we're not seeing it at the moment, but just to remind you, the Directive Advan VMAC 320R of Mitsuyama and Taniguchi leading there at the moment from the gym centre. Ferrari Dunlop of Tanaka and Aoki still in 3rd place. The Boxster, in fact, here they are running together. There's the Boxster and the Porsche, the Ferrari and the Boxster. Hideki Matsuda, Ichijo Suga. Such a lead does the Directive Advan car have. It's about to put both of the 2nd and 3rd place cars a whole lap down. Look at that, it's 29 seconds now. There's the Endless car in 4th place, the Endless Advan Nissan of Kageyama and Fuji. And the pole car, the Kicho Huzan Director Z of Kota Sasaki and Taku Banba. in 5th place, with right behind them the Murcielago Lamborghini of Marco Apicella and Yasutaka Inoue. Gap now for the leader has grown out to something like 35 seconds, I believe. That's what we're hearing. The Endless car goes ahead of the Boxster there. That's for 3rd place in GT300. So Kageyama finding a gap in the traffic, goes through ahead of the Boxster, but I'm sure that Matsuda will not be happy with that. He'll be looking to come back again now. Chicho Suga actually at the wheel at the moment of the Boxster. Race leader Kogure, 3 laps to go in the Takata Dome NSX. This would be the first win for Takashi Kogure if he can keep it there, so he'd be absolutely elated if he can win that. Ryo Mishigami, he hasn't won a race since Fuji 2003, so it will be a big day for both of them. Flashes past the Mooncraft Shidan. So as you can see, Kogure backing off slightly now. 2 seconds off his earlier pace. He doesn't have to push. His team is on the radio to him, just saying, keep it cool, keep it cool. You have got a big enough lead, more than 35 seconds. Just don't make any mistakes and keep it right there. Takuya Nakamura, team manager of the Dome project. There is the VMAC that's leading GT300. Car built in Chigwell. Raced in Japan. This car Honda powered. Car's called the 320R, the RD 320R. Uses the Honda naturally aspirated V6. 3.2 litres against the 3.5 litres of this car, the race-leading GT500, which has obviously developed to a greater extent. So as you can see, backing off even further now in these final couple of laps. Takashi Kogure knows he's got the win. All they've got to do is get that car across the line. Remember, they're still on the original set of front tyres. 2 hours of racing, 300 kilometres. Shows just how light this car is on the front end. And likewise, the Raybrig NSX of Sebastian Philippe and Shinya Hosokawa, which is following them. Oh, spinner. That's one of the little VMAX spinning there. Gets the car back onto the track. No harm done. Beg its pardon, it wasn't a VMAC, that was a Toyota MRS, the Toy Story MRS. Right, we're going to take another break. We'll be back for the final laps in just a moment. Here's our race leader into the final lap here at Okayama, Japanese Super GT. First win for Takashi Kogure. The first win in 3 years for Ryo Mishigami. Great afternoon for Dome Motor Company, one of Japan's leading race car constructors. This is their Takata Dome NSX. And in second place, Honda's joy will be completed by the Raybrick NSX. Coming home in second, Sebastian Philippe and Shinya Hosokawa. Big gaggle of traffic ahead, but we're in turn 11, the final turn, and the Takata Dome NSX of Ryo Mishigami, Takashi Kogure, who's at the wheel at the moment, going to take the checkered flag to the delight of Honda and of their Dome team. What a great win. We're going to have to wait a long time now because he's got 40 seconds over the second place Raybrick car. Shinya Hosokawa and Sebastian Philippe, and in third, the Motul Ortec Z of Mikael Krum and Sakon Yamamoto. But this is for the line, this is for position. Yellow hat car for fourth place. João Oliveira just takes fourth place from the Zensurumo SC of Yuji Tachikawa and Toranosuke Takagi. That was right on the line. They made a great comeback in that number one car, having to take a 10-second stop-go penalty. Without that, who knows, they could have even challenged the Takata Dome on the last lap. Here's the GT300 winner. Oliveira then into the last corner, and he takes that fourth place behind Mikael Krum's Motel car, and just ahead of the Zensurumo SC in fifth place, the number one car. That's the car of Takagi and Tachikawa that won the championship last year. But today, only fifth place as the best of the Toyota Lexus cars. Here's our winner of GT300. Shogo Mitsuyama, Nobuteru Taniguchi take the win for Directive Racing, their first ever win in Super GT in the 2 seasons they've been racing. This team, the little Directive team, British-built Advan, Honda Power, what a great win for them. And they beat the Gym Center Ferrari Dunlop of Tetsuya Tanaka, Takayuki Aoki, and the Total Benefit Green Tech Boxster of Hideshi Matsuda and Ichijiji Suga. So a good afternoon sport. Perhaps somewhat compromised by that first corner incident involving no less than 5 cars. Peter Dumbrek, Andre Kuto, Satoshi Motoyama, Eric Komas and others involved in one of those motorway style accidents when everyone stops and people behind don't. So here's the Dome Takata. Well, the team will be absolutely delighted. Kogure, that's his first major win in Japan. He did have one win in Formula Nippon, but this is even bigger. His second season of racing, and his second last year with Mishigami in this car, but today here at Okayama they've pulled off the win, and that is a big win in this manufacturer-driven championship. Well, the good news also for Kogure and Mishigami is after their fourth place in Suzuka, the win here puts them into the lead of the championship by a huge amount. Well, all happiness here. Chief engineer Yasuhito Takebayashi and team manager Takayuki Nakamura congratulating them. Happiness all around. There's a confirmation of the results. 40 seconds was the gap between first and second. 46 back to the third place. But what a great battle for fourth that was with the yellow hat Tomika. Great drive by João de Oliveira. And there we are, finishing 13th and last. GT300 then, a big win for VMAC, the Directive team, as we said, their first win in 2 seasons of racing. Ferrari second and Porsche Boxster third, really putting the factory-back Nissans in their place today, 4th and 5th, the best for that. So a good spread of different manufacturers there, although today here at Okayama is Honda's first and second in the second round of the championship. Good enough to put Honda and their drivers Ryo Mishigami and Takashi Kogure into the overall lead of the championship. And they're in GT. There it is. 38 points over the 25 of Wakisaka and Lotterer, and the 24 of Philippe and Hosokawa. GT300 then, Apicella and Hinoi keep their lead, but Mitsuyama and Taniguchi, after a great win today, go into second place. Here we are, Honda leading from Toyota Team Toms. 5 points ahead after just 2 rounds. And Japan Lamborghini Owners Club there, J-Lock, just 1 point ahead of the little Direct-Sig team. So a lot of racing to go yet on motors. We're going right through until November. There's 8 rounds in all. And don't forget, our biggest race of the year will be the Le Mans 24 Hours, which Motors TV will be bringing you in its entirety this year, starting scrutineering Monday and Tuesday, qualifying Wednesday and Thursday, and then the race Saturday and Sunday. I'll be on the team with all the regulars. But for the moment we're in Japan, Japanese anthem playing. As the silverware is handed out at the end of the Okayama 300 kilometers. Champagne fight time then. And, well, Takashi Kogure, he's going to be sleeping well tonight, isn't he? His first major win in Super GT. Ryo Mishigami's 4th, but the first he's had for 3 years, so he'll be just as happy. Well, that ends our coverage of Super GT from Okayama. Make sure you're with us for the next round here on Motors Fuji 500 kilometers during May. So from me, Mark Cole, see you next time.